And yeah, these are certain things. I think we discussed that draft code on wages rules, central rules. It has been issued, but I think it is yet to be passed. But what are all the again things getting mentioned in the draft rules? Just to give an idea, glimpse. Contractor's payment shall be ensured by the company before the contractor makes the payment of wages. See, now it appears it is isolated, right? See, the contractor is not waiting for the payment from the principal employer. Instead, he independently he's making the payment of wages to his workers, right? But the idea of again the engagement of contractor, maybe in my opinion, is when we say contractor, he is not doing any business, right? He's maybe he acts as an agent, he acts as a contractor, he brings in some workforce, right? So since he does not have any business of his own, so he is relying on the consideration which he is getting from the principal employer. From the consideration, actually he has to make the payment of wages to the workers who are engaged by him. So that is the, even today, that is the idea of the engagement of contractor and contract labor. But somehow now I think the contractors themselves are big companies, legal entities, right? So they are not just waiting for the payments to be received from the principal employer. They are independently, they are making the payment to their workers. Then subsequently, even 1 or 2 months down the line, they are collecting the consideration from the principal employer. But I don't think that is the idea. But now through the draft rules, I think that is getting emphasized now, right? So the principal employer has to make the consideration of the contract, that payment to the contractor. Only after that, out of which the contractor has to make the payment of wages to his workers, right? Again, I'm just giving you the glimpse, important changes. Please go through, because it's, let us first understand the idea, then maybe let us so through subsequent sections we will discuss on that. In case of non-payment of minimum bonus to the contract worker, company should pay. I think currently the legal position is not that. Only in case of bonus, I think even if the contractor fails to pay the payment of bonus, I think there is no ruling which mandates the principal employer to make the payment to the contract workers, right? But that position is now getting changed if these draft rules are true, right? These are all there only in the draft rules. I'm not very sure. And the definitions of the term unskilled worker, semi-skilled worker, skilled worker, highly skilled worker, now it is given, and I think there is a schedule attached. The list is also given. So what are all the jobs which are considered as unskilled work? What are all the jobs which are considered as semi-skilled? All those are there in the rules itself. Now again, geographical areas, as I said, metropolitan, non-metropolitan, rural area. It is more based on the population. If it goes beyond, population goes beyond 40 lakh in a particular area, then that will be considered as metropolitan. If it is between 10 lakh and 40 lakh, then it is non-metropolitan. If it is less than 10 lakh, then it is considered as rural area. That is non-metro, other than metro and non-metro, right? So maybe based on these areas, floor wages could be fixed. Let us see how it is getting applied, maybe in due course. And draft rules continues. No timeline for recovery of advance. I think we in industries we used to give some advance. Maybe it could be salary advance or any other advance, traveling advance to the individual employees. And if it is not properly remitted back, then I think it is getting deducted from the salary, right? But of course, specifically through rules, particularly with respect to Tamil Nadu rules, the number of installments which that is to be recovered it should not go beyond 12 months, 12 installments, right? But now the timeline is getting removed as per the central draft rules. We are not sure how the Tamil Nadu rules are going to be. I am just bringing in the change. There seems to be a slight change between the draft central rules and the current Tamil Nadu rules under the Payment of Wages Act. And of course, deduction for any damage or any loss caused by the individual employee. It can be done only with some specified process. We all know that. I think the opportunity of being heard, it should be given. And it also very clearly says at least within 15 days after making the deduction, the individual shall be explained about the deduction personally and in writing also, right? And when it comes to the question of undisbursed amount, be it minimum wages or bonus or whatever it is, right? The employer can now hold it up to 6 months. After 6 months, still if there is no claim made, then after the end of 6 months, within 15 days, it is to be remitted by the employer to the Deputy Commissioner of Labour Central, right? This is again with respect to central rules. So it is to be remitted to them. And that authority will hold it for next 7 years. If there is no claim received by the authority for the next 7 years, then I think that is to be dispersed in the manner as directed by the central government, for which I think guidelines are due, right? And of course, when the employer transfers the amount after the end of 6 months to the DCL Central, it should be deposited through bank transfer or demand draft.